Hi, I'm Hamid Taqvaee and this is WPI Press Centre. Today is 23rd of June 2009. We're Hamid Taqvaee today and we want to talk about the current international condemnation of the Islamic regime and recognition of the Islamic regime and what's happening internationally. Hamid Taqvaee, when first Ahmadinejad came out of the ballot box like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Press TV, the voice of the Islamic regime, immediately said that international leaders and states are lining up to congratulate Ahmadinejad.
Yes.
That sort of there was nothing coming out of that pipeline, and only a handful of ridiculous states like Hamas in Palestine, Sultan Qaboos of Qatar, Pakistan, and a couple of states like China and Russia who have economic interest in and military interest with the Islamic regime congratulated. The rest of the world sort of did not raise a finger, and effectively what's happened in Iran in the last 11 days, we've seen the mass movement and mass demonstration has robbed away not only the legitimacy of the election but all of the Islamic regime. What's your yesterday you wrote to heads of states everywhere and you asked them to not only condemn the current killings but actually not to recognize all of the Islamic regime and close the embassies. What's your intention in writing such letter?
Yeah, now in this situation I wrote that letter, but that position is not starting with this election. That was our demand and that was our call to all international institutes and also states that not recognize Islamic Republic as a legitimate regime in Iran because that regime doesn't represent people of Iran, doesn't represent any section of the society. This is a bunch of gangs that ruling Iran. And this election, I think now nobody should doubt about what we were saying a long time ago. But because of this election, I think it's too obvious for anybody to somehow try to support the regime and have some sort of diplomatic relation with this regime. That's why at this moment I thought that's a good opportunity. Once again, call all the states and UN as well that don't recognize that the legitimacy, the whole system, the whole Islamic regime, because now for obvious reason it is not legitimate, it is not a legal regime in Iran, and by don't recognizing it, we mean just cut off all the political relations with Iran, and close all the embassies of Iran everywhere in the world, don't let their representatives be in UN or any international institute, and so on and so forth. That's what we want.
And that's very interesting because I think people of Iran effectively have not recognized, they're not recognizing the Islamic regime, and the international community, states and institutions.
That was what people wanted for a long time. Now there's opportunity that in the streets,
yes.
You see that millions of people are, in fact, by their slogans, by their actions, showing that we don't want that regime and we want to get rid of this.
Do you welcome United Nations Secretary General call for ending the shooting and killing of people and the current moves in the UN to actually have a meeting, and also the talk of bringing Khamenei to The Hague and for a trial against against the current killings?
Yes.
What's your response?
I think it's a good move. It's a move in the right direction, but of course not enough. They should go much further, as I just mentioned. UN should just cut off any relation with Islamic Republic and ask the other members of the UN that regime is not legitimate and shouldn't have a seat in the UN, and all the diplomatic relations with Iran should end and all the embassies should be closed. That's what we ask for. But still, what UN is doing is a positive move in a right direction.
Okay, thank you. Obama, the US president, is under pressure. Both the fact that people in the United States see on the TV the atrocities committed by the by the Islamic government, and they are actually demanding that the U.S. Government sort of responds to this. And Obama has been very cautious, extremely cautious, under the pretext of he doesn't want to be accused of any interference in Iranian politics, and he doesn't want to he doesn't want to be seen that he's backing any horse in the Iranian politics. And significantly, he said, we have a strategic decision
to
negotiate with Iran. What's your response to Obama? What do you have to say to him?
Yeah, because I know that the position of Obama and U.S. is in any whatever comes out of those events, they want to recognize the next government in order to follow their own policies. I mean, meaning that nuclear project of Iran and the relation with the other countries in the Middle East and so on and so forth. So that's their goal. My point is, if they want to, the best way, the fastest way to get to what they want is supporting people of Iran, because for sure, if people could topple this government, get rid of this government, any government, next one, would have a much better policy toward the West, toward US, what US wants, and for sure wouldn't go on, wouldn't continue the policy of this regime. Mousavi and Ahmadinejad are not much, they are not much different as far as the, let's say, the foreign policy is concerned. So my recommendation is that U.S. and Mr. Obama better support the movement of Iranian people against this regime, because any other regime, any regime that would after the Islamic Republic would come to power, for sure would have a much better relation with the West as a whole and with USA as well.
Okay, Hamid Taqvaee, thank you very much. As I said, this is WPI daily press briefing. You can see minute by minute news from Iran on our blog, Worker Communist Party of Iran blog, and hopefully we'll be back to you to analyze and comment on the situation as they unfold on a daily basis. And I'm Faribos Puya. Until tomorrow, goodbye.